Hello, it's Saturday, July 11, and today our scripture reading is 2 Samuel 6. I think it'd be a really good idea if you read that passage. I've got a link if you want to read 2 Samuel 6 online. That's in the description of the video. Otherwise, you could pull out a physical Bible or maybe an app on your phone and read that way. In 2 Samuel 6, we get the story of the Ark of the Covenant, this symbol of God's presence with his people, being brought to Jerusalem, the city where David has set up his palace, the capital city, and the place where God has chosen to be sort of specially present to the Israelites, his people. And as the Ark is coming up to Jerusalem, David is beyond excited. King David is celebrating with all his might. He's dancing. There are instruments playing. There's sacrifices being offered. David is over the moon. He's just filled with love for God and a desire to worship God. And then when all is said and done, when the celebration has wrapped up, David comes home and his wife criticizes him because he's not wearing a lot of clothing and he's dancing around, and she thinks that this is terribly undignified for the king of God's people. And David says, no, you don't get it. This wasn't about me. This wasn't about any of these people. This is about God. This is about me expressing my devotion, my gratitude, my praise to God. And I think that there's something to be learned for all of us here. You know, when I come to worship on Sunday morning for a church service, or if I worship God at another time, it's hard for me to pour my full self into it. I tend to kind of hold back. I tend to, I don't want to be undignified. I don't want to, I worry about what other people think about me. I'd imagine this is probably the same for many of you too. But David here challenges us with his example of not caring about what others think, but focusing on God. Because what David understands, and what we need to understand, and maybe even do understand deep down, is that God is worth it. That God is so great and so loving and so amazing to us. He does things that are so wonderful that he deserves all of us. He deserves all of our praise. He deserves all of our devotion. So that's my thought for today. If you've got thoughts or comments that you'd love to share, I'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. Have a great day.